Hello everybody, welcome church family, and this is our fourth gathering together. So this is absolutely amazing to have you all here, my brothers, my sisters, my church family. What am I saying? Church family, my family, you're here, and I am so happy to see you. So sometimes life put us into challenging situations. And when we are into those challenging situations, I think the advice of God and the advice of Dad. And when I said, it's interesting that I said the advice of God, because it's God talking through that, right? We often, blame the devil. It's always the devil's fault. It's always the demon's fault. It's always the enemy's fault. Correct? But sometimes it's just a test of life then we have to look at. And I think the advice of Dad, then you have to learn to be happy in the situation then you're here. I think for me that was wow. Because very often we look at the problem, but we don't look at the situation or the option. And immediately when I thought about when Dad said this advice to his mom, I immediately thought about a verse in the Bible. Go to Habakkuk 3:17-18. So he goes by this: even though the fig tree have no blossoms, and there is no grapes on the vines, and even though the olive crops fails, and the field lies empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the field, and the cattle barns are empty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. So here we have Habakkuk, who is going through so much challenges. So if the fig tree have not blossomed, that means there will be no fig fruit. So there will be nothing to eat. There will be no harvest. The fig tree has no blossom, therefore no fruit. No fruit means no harvest. So no income for him. Then he says, then there is also the olive. The olive tree is also not producing any olive. So imagine, the fig tree doesn't work, there is no harvest. The olive also, there is no harvest. And then after that, he talks about the flocks. And he says that there is no flocks, there is nothing. So imagine then life is challenging Habakkuk to the maximum. There is no harvest when it comes to the fruits and the vegetable. There is no harvest. There is nothing to take from the flocks. So there, obviously he is facing a very miserable time. If you look at his situation today, it will be you losing your job. So he's losing his jobs, he's losing his incomes, and then basically he's looking everywhere where he could make some money. And he says, I am not getting anything. All of this is gone. And that is very challenging time. Those are proven then, you see, having faith and believing in God when your life is absolutely amazing, it's easy. Because life is good. So when life is good, praise Jesus. Thank God, my life is good. But when you're facing challenges, when you're facing difficult situation, are you still going to have the same fervency? Are you still going to say, oh, for this problem, thank you, Jesus. Thank you for testing me. Thank you for making me grow. The message that I want to tackle today, correct, is joy in every season of your life. I'm going to give you 4 points. How many? 4 points. All right, good. I'm going to give you 4 points on how do you make sure then you keep your mind focused on God, on Jesus. The point number 1 is seasons always change, but God always remains. And this point is the most important, is you have to understand then season change, situation change. Nothing stays the same. So if today you are facing challenges in your work, challenges in your family, challenges with your loved one, challenges with money, just know then this will pass. Like winters pass, like autumn pass, like raining season pass. Those seasons are also going to pass. You just need to stay fervent and be patient. When we are facing a challenging season, buckle up. This is the time when you need to have a stronger faith. This is the time when you need to believe in God more than the other time. This is a battlefield, right? You need to go, you need to fight the situation in front of you. It's not always bad. Sometimes it's a test. You know, God is testing you. This is like the story of Job. Satan went to God and he says, this guy you said and he's so good. Can I test him? Let's see, if you remove all his money, if you remove everything that he have, will he still believe in you? And God says, go ahead, don't touch his life, but you can test him. And I think sometimes I want you to look at the situation differently. I want you to know then season pass, but God remain. That was point number one. Point number two is often happiness is a decision. Happiness is a mindset. Happiness is you changing the way then you see things. You have to make sure that sometimes you control your mind and not let your mind control you. Correct? There is a big factor of happiness is a decision. This is what Dad told his mom. Now you have to learn to be happy alone. You have to learn. It's not natural. It's not an immediate thing. Imagine Prophet's mom. Her husband just passed away. The husband just went and see the Lord. This creates a massive void into your life. Correct? And I don't think at that moment you think of being happy. Maybe happiness is the last thing then you will think. But Dad says, now learn how to be happy alone. Learn before your mind control you. Learn before your mind takes you into a negativity whirlpool, then you cannot come out. Correct? So yes, happiness is a decision. Sometimes you need to force yourself to look at the positive side on the situation that you are in. And I think that was really, really powerful. And he says, learn how to be happy. I will take you another example. When Dad went to jail for 33 nights in jail, he has this amazing book. If you have not gotten his book, go to the website, order the book, 33 Nights in Jail. I don't know if it's still available, but So when he was there, he had to learn how to be happy there. At the beginning, he did not know that he was going to be there for 33 nights. He had no idea if he was going to be there for 1 night, for 2 nights, for 30 nights, for 365 nights. Who knows? He did not know. But what he knew is he had to learn to be happy there while he was there. So sometimes if you cannot make the decision how to be happy just like this, try to be happy right here, right now. This is 1 minute at a time. This is a technique that actually God has given me, right here, right now. Be the best of yourself right here, right now. Don't think of tomorrow. Don't think of 1 month. Don't think in a year. Don't think. Because the situation that you're in will overwhelm you. So then think of right here, right now. Be happy right here, right now. Look at all the positive side. Look that you still have a meal in the front of you. Look at you still have a shade on the top of you. Correct? Look if your wife is still next to you. Look if your children are still in the front of you. Correct? Be happy right here, right now. So that was the second point. Right here, right now. Make the decision to be happy. The third point that we're gonna have is joy is your best weapon. When something bad happened to you, when you're into a terrible situation, joy is your best weapon. In the Bible, it is written, then if you laugh at things, the devil runs. He runs away because suddenly it looks like you don't care. So if you don't care, then he looks and says, oh, this thing it does not do anything to him. I'm wasting my time. Let me go to somebody else who I can affect. Correct? And that's the reason why something happened to you. Even if your heart doesn't tell you to do it, just laugh. Just find joy in the situation that you're in. I know it's easy to say than to be done. It takes a lot of, you need to control your mind. You need to work yourself out. Then actually out of the most terrible situation, you can find a way to laugh. You can find joy. Because the moment you find that joy, the moment you laugh at the situation, the enemy knows that he has no grip on you. He knows that you don't bother. He knows that you don't care. So if I am the enemy and I try to do something to you and it looks like you don't care, I'm going to go to somebody else. This guy doesn't care. Let me go and find someone who cares. All right? And we have the fourth one. And the fourth one is, it's very dear to me because when I face situation, when, a couple of months ago, now I'm a little bit more than half a year, I had to leave Malaysia, and I have to leave Malaysia very suddenly after 30 years been there. And when I left, there is something that actually made me go through it. Is actually my church family. It's actually my brothers and sisters. It's actually my support system. You see, sometimes we don't choose our blood family, but we choose our spiritual family. And those people have the same thinking than we have. They have the same biblical education than we have. We have a lot of common points. And then when they are with us, when they talk to us, somehow it keeps you strong, correct? And it makes you go through the challenging time that you go through because you have this support system. And I think support system is very, very, very important. And that's the reason why you have church brothers and sisters. That's the reason why you have me as your assistant pastor to support you when something goes wrong. That you can always send me a message. That you can always call me. If I'm not available immediately, I will be available within the day or within the next day. But I will definitely respond. I will definitely pray for you. I will definitely make sure that I'm here to encourage you. And this is why we're here. This is why I'm here in France for you. It's for us to create a family. Then we can go through things. We can go through challenging times together. That made, to me, my church family made a massive difference. And that makes a lot of difference. So now let's look at those 4 points together, okay? So remember, the first point, okay, is season change. but God always remains. Point number 2 is happiness, it's a decision. Point number 3 is joy is your best weapon. And point number 4 is your church family, your support system. Everybody, I love you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have an amazing month ahead, and I will see you very, very soon.